Welcome to JoyNews Desk with me, Mahama Nyamiche Thompson. And just before now, we were at the Jubilee House at the forecourt, where President John Dramani Mahama is celebrating his 1 year in office. We'll go back there shortly. In the studio with me is NPP's General Secretary, Justin Frimpong Koduah, with me in the studio. Justin, welcome.
Thank you, Mahama.
Well, we'll be assessing President John Dramani Mahama's, term in office, especially his 1 year anniversary today, and also take a look at the NPP's function towards their primaries, as well as how they're also faring in 2026. So let me start with you, Justin. President Mahama is 1 year in office. There's been a lot of positive outcome from that, from various quarters, about how he's performed so far. In your opinion, how has he performed?
Mahama, thank you, and I agree to your views also. He said there has been a lot of positive comments from various quarters.
Yes.
Maybe we want to know the quarters that you are talking about. But
we've spoken to CSOs, we've spoken to, even Ghanaians who've rated him above even 80%.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, Mahama, there's something that all of us need to understand. That every political party comes into government with a manifesto. So to be able to assess whether a party or a government is performing, you need to go back and ask yourself, what did they say in their manifesto? And that will put things in a proper context to really analyze the performance of the government. I've always said that it will be a high level of mediocrity for anyone just to use development projects like construction of roads.
Justin, I don't mean to interrupt, but the president is currently speaking. Let's listen to him quickly, and then we'll return. So let's go back to the Jubilee House.
Defense Congress, National Democratic Congress, and other political parties, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, students from selected schools, colleagues of the media, my brothers and sisters. A year ago today, we were gathered at the Black Star Square with excitement to swear the oath of office, to take over the reins of government of this dear country of ours. There were some colleagues of ours who shared in that excitement who today are not with us. And so, in honor of the memory of our revered colleagues, Omani Boama, Murtala Mohammed, Samuel Sapong, Samuel Abaje, Muniru Limuna, and our 3 military servicemen, I'll ask that we all rise and observe a moment of silence in their memory. We embarked on this journey together, but God had other plans for them. May they gain peaceful repose in the bosom of the Lord. I thank you. Kindly resume your seats. Sorry, it's an occupational hazard for us who work here in Flagstaff House. The jets taking off make a bit of noise. Today we gather not as members of different faiths or political traditions, but as one people united in gratitude, humility, and reflection. Today we gather to give thanks. We give thanks for life, we give thanks for peace, and we give thanks for the opportunity to serve. 1 year ago, the people of Ghana entrusted this administration with a sacred responsibility to lead our nation through a difficult period, to restore hope, to stabilize our economy, and to reset the direction of our national development. Today is not a celebration of power. It is a moment of thanksgiving for the opportunity to serve the people of Ghana. Today is not a declaration of triumph, it is a reaffirmation of purpose. My fellow citizens, leadership is a privilege, but it's also a load we are asked to carry. And over the past year, we have come face to face with the weight of that load. Economic hardship, social anxiety, global uncertainties, and of course the legitimate expectation of our people. And yet through it all, God has stood by us. Our democracy has remained strong, our institutions have held their own, and our people have shown resilience, patience, and faith in the future of our beloved nation. And so for all this, we are grateful. First and foremost, to the Almighty God. We're grateful for His protection, for His peace, and the safety He has granted us. We're grateful to the men and women who wake up every day to keep this country moving. To our farmers, our traders, our workers, our teachers, our health professionals, our security personnel, our artisans, entrepreneurs, and our public servants. We're grateful to our traditional leaders and the clergy, our religious leaders, who continue to offer counsel, guidance, and moral leadership. We're grateful to our international partners, the diplomatic corps, for the work you do every day to promote bilateral friendship and international cooperation. We're grateful to Parliament and the judiciary for their constitutional roles in strengthening governance and accountability in our country. And above all, we're grateful to the people of Ghana for your trust, your constructive criticism when necessary, your encouragement, and your enduring belief that our nation, Ghana, can and must do better. I reserve my special thanks for my Vice President, Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, a woman of dignity and quiet strength, the first woman to rise to this position of responsibility. I could not have wished for a better assistant to help me bear the heavy load Ghanaians have entrusted to me. Nana Jane, God richly bless you. I reserve my thanks for my wife, Lordina Mahama. I will give those thanks when we get back to the house. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this Thanksgiving service is intentionally non-denominational because gratitude transcends religious doctrine. It speaks to the shared values that unite us as a people: faith in our future, respect for human dignity, and a responsibility to one another to be one another's keeper. Whatever name we give to our divine belief and faith, we recognize that no government succeeds through human effort alone. Wisdom cannot be manufactured, strength is not infinite, guidance is not automatic. We therefore pause today to acknowledge that humility before a higher purpose is essential to responsible leadership. My brothers and sisters, as we look back on the past year, we do so honestly. We have taken difficult decisions. We have undertaken difficult reforms. We've laid the foundations that may not yet be visible, but are sustainable for the sustainable progress of our country. We have prioritized economic stabilization, institutional reform, social protection, and the restoration of confidence, both within our country and in the international community. The work we have begun is far from finished, but today reminds us that progress is not measured only by numbers and by charts and diagrams. It is also measured by hope that is restored, by trust that is rebuilt, and correct direction that is regained. Thanksgiving must also be accompanied by recommitment. And so today, we recommit to ethical leadership, we recommit ourselves to service above self, we recommit ourselves to governance anchored in integrity, competence, and compassion. We recommit ourselves to listening, especially to the voices of our vulnerable, our youth, and those who feel excluded. And we recommit ourselves to the unity of our nation, knowing that Ghana's strength has always come from our ability to rise above division and work together for the common good. My fellow countrymen and women, the year ahead will demand even more from us. It will test our resolve, our patience, and our discipline. But it will also offer us opportunities to deepen the reforms we have started, opportunities to accelerate our growth, and ensure that development and progress touches every part of our country. And so let us move forward with humility, let us lead with empathy, and let us govern with courage. And let us never forget that leadership is stewardship. It is temporary and fleeting. Authority is a fleeting trust held on behalf of the people. On behalf of the Vice President and myself, and on behalf of this administration, I wish to say thank you to the people of Ghana. I want to thank you for 1 year of trust. I want to thank you for 1 year of partnership. We wish to thank you for 1 year of shared sacrifice and patience. May the year ahead bring renewed strength to our nation, wisdom to our leaders, and peace to our communities, and hope to every Ghanaian home. May God bless us all and bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. I thank you.
No. Thank you very much, President. That was wonderful, powerful, and good. Thank you. So we are running up and we are ready to receive the closing prayer and the benediction. Before we do that, on behalf of the First Family, I want you to clap for yourself.
So we just heard from the president there giving his remarks on his 1 year anniversary, telling that power is fleeting and also they're going to do better in the remaining years in office. Still with me in the studio is Justin Koduah, NPP General Secretary, and you heard the president speak. Your remarks on that?
Well, Mami, I was making the point before we went to listen to the president. The point was that for us to be able to fairly assess the NDC government demands that us looking at their manifesto, the things that they said they were going to do, and whether they have been able to achieve them or not. And listening to the president, he didn't delve into the details as to maybe economic sector, the rails infrastructure, which I know that maybe he may be exposing himself very much. That's why he decided to just make a general statement. But after today, there's going to be several discussions on the NDC performance, and the New Patriotic Party will officially come out with our assessment of the NDC government in the last 1 year. But on top of my head, at least Ghanaians remember that in run-up to the December 7th elections, key campaign message of the NDC was the 24-hour economy.
Yes.
So Ghanaians will be asking, what's the state of the 24-hour economy as promised by the NDC? Because we recall that in 2016, the key or major campaign message of the Kufuor, then candidate Kufuor, was the free senior high school, which was implemented fully in 2017. So Ghanaians will be juxtaposing what the MPP did in 2017 and what the NDC have done in 2025.
Right.
So all these discussions will come up. But one question that Ghanaians want me to ask the NDC government has to do with the state of the LGBTQ bill. Because you also recall that prior to the December 7th, it was something that became a major issue of discussion across the country. And the NDC promised Ghanaians that the MPP is reluctant to pass that bill because MPP is in bed, in quote, with people who are associated with LGBTQ. And when they come to government, within 3 months, they are going to ascend that bill. So Ghanaians are asking, what is the state of that bill? And also Ghanaians want to also ask about the state of Galamsey in our country. You will recall, during President Kufuor's time, NDC, together with some civil society organizations.
President said at the New Year school yesterday, Naimas was doing a good job. At least some of the rivers that were thick, muddy, are now light, Milo. So there's some progress in dealing with Galamsey. Also,
are you sure?
Well, that is what the president said
so at least
yesterday.
I know you also do your fact-finding to find out whether...
We're still working with Galamsey. Well, our reporter, especially Erastus Asari Donko, says there's more, obviously, to be done.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, what I know is that it's gotten worse. Because now, if we've plied the route from Accra to Kumasi, it's very glaring that even when you get to Enyinam, both left and right, Galamsey is going on. When you are moving from Kumasi to Bebi and Punya, Galamsey is going on left, right, center, even to the extent that President's own backyard, Boile Bamboy, there's serious Galamsey going on. And any person, objective person, will tell you that it has gotten worse.
Right.
So we are waiting to see what the President will do. Then on issue of that has to do with political persecution and witch hunting of political opponents. Before NDC came into government, there were several of their members who were in court on issues of alleged corruption. But when they came into government, the Attorney General filed a nolle prosequi, only to turn around to always be arranging MPP members before the court, which we are not against it. But what we feel is that if we are resetting the country, it shouldn't be one-sided. Okay. At least it should cut across. So we want to know why the NDC government decided to discontinue cases of their members.
Which brings me to my next question about how has the position been? It's 1 year exactly today. How would you rate your own 1 year out of power?
Well, certainly for a political party that lost elections in 2024, the ensuing year was going to be a tough and a challenging one. But we thank God we have been able to steer the wheel for us to get to where we are now. And 2025 brought its own unique issues as a party.
Like?
Because you've lost elections. There were accusations, counter-accusations, blame games. So, but the positive aspect is that the party stood resolute and focused. And we decided to introduce some decisive, very unprecedented reforms in the party. For the first time, we are electing our flag bearer first, even before any other internal contest. So that is something that has never happened in our party before. And when we decided to even take that decision, we had some people criticizing us. But now, majority of our members have seen the wisdom in why we decided to hold our presidential primaries. And come January 31st, we hold our presidential primaries free, fair, and peacefully. Then after, we know that we will have a presidential candidate for 2028 elections, and reconciliation also will set in. Then before we delve into our internal election. Again, in 2025 saw the party amending our constitution. if you recall, in July, we were at Legon, where we amended certain provisions of our constitution, also included some provisions in our constitution. And it was done tactically to address certain concerns and to position the party in a good pool for the 2028 elections. Again, in 2025, there was so much heat in the party, because of the internal contest, and as even general secretary, sometimes it was difficult even to make certain statements, because if you are not careful, once you make that statement, you are assumed to be belonging to a particular.
And would you say those cracks in the party have now been resolved?
Well, I wouldn't say every cracks in the party has been resolved, but we've made tremendous improvement and headway with respect to what we are supposed to do as a party. And like I said, once we get over with the presidential primary, because that is the main issues in the cracks in the party, because of several polarization and divisions on our front. But once we're able to get over the 31st, then we are good to go.
Well, there were some concerns that leadership of the party were doing things in favor of Dr. Bawumia. With this opportunity, was that really the case?
Well, it's certainly an unfounded allegation, and it's something that I disagree with anyone who have that notion, because as General Secretary, I have not done anything to the contrary to suggest that I'm supporting candidate A or candidate B, because everything that we've done, the setting up of the elections committee, have they done something that suggests that they are doing or they are scheming to favor a particular candidate? No. And I can tell you, you can verify from all the 5 aspirants their impression or assessment of the elections committee. They will tell you that they've done a tremendous job, and their conduct, their actions suggest that they want to ensure free, fair, and transparent elections. And there have been times whereby I've even come on air publicly to rebuke everybody, including Dr. Bawumia's camp, the Japanese camp, Brian's camp. If I see something wrong, I'll talk about it. As to whether people will perceive at that point whether I'm doing it to favor a particular person, then that is their opinion. But for me, the most important thing that the rank and file of our party must understand, that the MPP is bigger than all those 5 people who are contesting. And at the end of the day, just as we have had several party stalwarts who contested in the previous election, this is their time. They will come, they will go, but the MPP will still remain the MPP. But I can assure you that the January 31st elections will be free, fair, and transparent, and will not be skewed for any particular person. At the end of the day, we understand that our biggest contest is 2028, not this one. So it is in our supreme interest to make sure that we go into the election as a united front. Then after the election, we still remain as a united front than to scheme the processes for one particular person. Because at the end of the day, if I lose the election and the processes were not fair, then it gives me the reason to rock the boat. It gives me the reason to stay back and say, well, you have decided to skew the process to favor a particular person, so you go and do your own campaign. We don't want that situation. Any person who will lose will understand that it is the party that has spoken, and the person will accept the results. Well,
I also East, unfortunately, we lost the MP there. Are you contesting that seat in the by-election?
Why shouldn't you be contesting, Mamis? In fact, first and foremost, let me send my deepest condolences to the family and the NDC as a party. But the New Patriotic Party will contest the Iowa East by-elections. And as I speak to you, we are doing our own candidate search to get a very good, well-accepted candidate to contest the Iowa by-election. I yesterday watched the MC at Iowa East making the point that to honor our departed MP, he will plead on MPP not to field a candidate to contest, which I was very surprised and shocked that he can make such a statement. Actually, this is not the first time we've had by-elections. When the MPP decided not to contest Tamale Central, did the NDC decide not to contest Akotia? I mean, they contested, right? So for whatever reasons, that influence them to contest Akwete. The same reason that also influencing us to also contest Iowa by-elections. In any case, it's not an issue of whether it's NDC stronghold or it's not. No, we are going to contest and to make sure that we win the seat.
How soon are you getting this candidate to start, the campaigning processes and all that?
Well, at least with issues of death, I know the Electoral Commission has about 60 days to organize the by-election. So I can assure you that before Electoral Commission open nomination, NPP will have a candidate for Iowa East by-election.
What should we expect from NPP in 2026? It's a new year. What are the plans apart from the primary starts at the end of the month?
Well, 2026 will see many elections in the party, internal elections, because aside the presidential primary, as you indicated, we are also supposed to hold polling station elections, electoral area elections, constituency, region, and even national elections, external branch elections. So this year will be more of elections. But at the same time, too, we are also focused on reconciliation, because we know that certain statements have been made which were unfortunate. We know that after presidential primary, we need to rally everybody together for them to understand the bigger picture. That's a job on its own. Right. So we are focused on how we can quickly reconcile the party. And we also know that one of the major things that the party has to do is our communication. Right now, it's a fact that our communication has become polarized, because now people have taken a trend position because they are now interested in hyping their candidates and campaigning for their candidates to the detriment of the party communication. So after the presidential primary too, we've rolled out several activities of having sector committees in our party to be dealing with various sectors of the economy in terms of communication also. Then strategically too, the party will start several engagements on how and why we lost the 2024 election, though we have a template from the review committee, which was chaired by Professor Michael Quay. We need to implement it. At least the positive thing that every member of our party should take note and also be hopeful for the 2028 election is that, yes, we lost the 2024 election by a huge margin. But if we compare 2020 election results to 2024 election results, we lost about 2 million votes. The 2 million votes were people who voted for the MPP in 2020, but did not vote in 2024. It's not 2024. It's not like they voted for the NDC. If they had gone to vote for NDC, the issue would have been very...
Why do you think they didn't vote? Was there a reason given?
Yes, so that's one of the fact findings that we've done as a party. That is why we constituted the post-election review committee to analyze all this, which my Macy want me to tell, but I can't tell you.
Why not? Because I believe those people too are Ghanaians, and you may not meet all the 2 million. So why can't you let them know exactly the reason? Then
so we know where they are. We'll be going to them.
You know where the 2 million are? All of the 2 million.
We know where they are. We know why, and we have gotten the reasons why they didn't vote.
Why is it so difficult for you to explain the reason for?
No, we are going to contest. I don't think any political party will come and put their strategies and issues out there. At least the most important thing is addressing them. At least we were in government. There were certain decisions, actions of the government which affected us. Okay. As a party, we might have also taken certain steps. I won't give you the detail, but I'll just generalize it for you. At least since you are interested in knowing certain things. So I'll just...
Would you say that the bit about not taking the then finance minister out of office could be one of the reasons?
Well, that's my Macy's point. At least my
that's some of the assertions that people were making.
So we accept it. At least if that's one of the reasons, at least we have accepted it.
But I know that Osei Mensah also led this research into why the party lost. Is that also, a basis for the reforms you're making in the party, or you're just looking at the Michael Quay report alone?
No, at least the Michael Quay report is the official report that the party has. Many individuals have done their own reports. Some regions have done their own report, but the Michael Quay report is the mother report that the party is working on. Other reports, also encompasses what is captured in Michael Okwue's reports. But we are working on all aspects. We are not leaving any stone unturned. And the most, as I indicated, important thing is to implement the recommendation from the report. And I can assure you, the party in 2026, you'll be happy. At least the things that the MPP is going to do in terms of our internal elections, how we are going to conduct it, the atmosphere, the free, fair, transparent manner that
what would be the different?
Very interesting.
What would be the different leg or the different structures that you're putting in place in terms of elections to ensure that there's an objective outcome from that?
Well, you mean for the internal elections?
Yes.
Make sure that we come out.
Yes.
For every elections, what matters most is events leading to the D-Day. How you conduct yourself, how you organize meetings, how you organize your album, how you make sure that printing of the ballot papers, everything is done in a transparent manner, also involving the aspirants so that they know at each point or at each level of decision making, they are part of it.
Right.
And so far, I can proudly say that this has been done, particularly reference to the president.
There are no issues with albums, there are no issues with anything.
Certainly, there will be issues because that is why we do what we refer to as verification. That's why we do what we refer to as exhibition. That's why we do what is referred to as validation. At least all these steps are engineered to make sure that at least we address issues that may come up. This is a human institution.
And just before you go, Frimpong, I just want to understand properly what approach, very briefly, you're taking in reconciling, those cracks or other aggrieved parties in the party. Exactly what will be the approach in reconciling them?
Well, the first and most important thing is for all of us, irrespective of where you are, the position that you are taking, how aggrieved that you are, how dissatisfied that you are, that MPP is a mother party. MPP is what we all look up to. So if we start on that tangent, understanding that the party is bigger than any individual, and the person that maybe we are supporting today, tomorrow the person may not be there, but the MPP will be there. It makes the reconciliation very easy.
Right.
And two, also on the part of party officers, being fair. If we are fair, if we are transparent and honest in our handling of issues, people will repose confidence in us. And that is something that we are doing as a party. And certainly, fortunate for us as a party, we have two former presidents who are alive. Okay. President Akufo-Addo, President Akufo. So at least they are our fathers, like for want of better words, who are there, and they have shown their readiness to help in the process of reconciliation.
After the complaints President Akufo made some time ago that you weren't involving in matching party issues.
Well, maybe people took it out of context.
Oh, really?
Because at the end of the day, because when it comes to party matters, President Akufo is a member of NEC, is a member of National Council. Anytime the party takes a decision, he has always been part of it.
All right. Thank you so much, Justin Frimpong Koduah, coming to be with us on JoyNews Desk. We're very grateful for your time. And moving on, some Ghanaians are divided on President John Mahama's performance 1 year after being sworn in. While a section thinks President Mahama has performed well, others say he's not lived up to expectations yet. Adobe Asari has been engaging some of them.
January 2026, exactly a year ago today, the Black Star Square was looking all beautiful, properly decorated in our beautiful Ghanaian colors, all for the swearing in of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. Today happens to be exactly 1 year since they came into office, and I'm here with able men of Abossey Spare Parts Markets to find out exactly how they'll rate the President and his Vice, and of course his ministers, and what they expect to see in the second year of his office. Sir, Ojas. So this Ojas. Pacho, your name?
Kofi Intili.
Kofi, and then?
Kwabena Boateng of Kwabena Boateng of Papa BME. Okay. My Goddess.
My Goddess. So I have Ojas, Kofi, Kwabena Boateng, and My Goddess. Ojas, first year. We in the first year, Mama, we in the first year. We'll be rating the same.
Oh, Najuma, yeah, fantastic. to me, you know, semi-rating 1 year, actually, say out of 100%, and come man be 80%. What boy you papa no crane you try any here chia, Sabu and Yasme politics, but I be a tremono. Only economic team will be our board in you can what a solid economic team. Niomo Bay, ya me as a businessman, not a no. Near you are to force and quit me a bay, a mother Nigeria mammy, I'm a business, coquaso, a cranium at the banady. Me say you are Mahamas, what was to say ya dear. And ye, Sabia Brusabia Nado, Kamiaka Sakura may demonstration, so Uncle Tete.
Okay. So initial comments. I'm taking initial comments from all of them, and then Ojas here says he's given the president an 80% rating because he believes the economy is now improved. Right? He says in the previous governments there was a whole economic team, and he didn't see much as a businessman. But with what Kasiel Atoforsen Honorable is doing currently, making him see the business move smoothly, and so he's giving the Mahama administration 80%. Wafa, tell us your rating.
Oh, don't dear, a man who couldn't mean. Joe Boyduma. John or Boyduma. Sagana for the kind of crap, dear. John Boyduma. John or Boyduma.
Many percentage says an just.
Oh, Nana. Now, make my say John say, on go so. On you know. Now, a month for back a fun who be ano. Maninti. On you know who you're Jumano. Yanko Possibility.
Our Uncle Kofi here says the Mahama-led administration is performing exceptionally well and that he should go on to do exactly what he's doing to make sure everything goes as smoothly as it is now. Wafa, tell us your initial comments.
Oh, me Wafa dear. We are so because and sesan ya na say nipa no oboa and sesan ye. Omoba mamuni hu de e ko. Dollar no agina amaye. Nti me de meka se waya ade e ho na ade ba ko pe na me won se etima se dollar na gina no market no so slow down ba me de mani tutu fuma me won se government workers ni bo ma na mu pay ni mantem a se mo na mo na mfo mienu na bia na me tomo odi na da bia me kwa na me tomo odi dia na de chi me so on tomo me ni dia me twe me ho e de me se se o mo tutu no mo na se month ni du a mo twi government workers ne ka entem no mo twi me tade enso maye ko sika odi pa ho a wagina ni Hantiane or how Kakrabia, when DC government wants to see a Kakra, or more than say, wait me, I use our hand through.
It's a Kenny ho, and I say,
he says a man percentage, dear, made a man 99%. Why are you? Why are you?
Okay, Mr. Watson here says he's rating the Mahama-led administration. He's giving them a 99% rating because of the dollar, the stability in the dollar currently. You know, the dollar is doing quite well. And then he says change is good. So he's okay with the fact that the government has changed hands. But then he's not very excited about the lateness or the delay in payment of government workers. The salary delays a bit. And then that's the only thing that is reducing the rating of the Mahama-led administration. But for now, so far, Mahama is doing well. Wafa, talk to us.
Mahama Momoa Umi, no Kuen and Kama. Minya but politics to Adi Debbie, and share a coin oh yeah, and Baganja, you lie, Brunia, Montanimo, I did, I feel that no more than Aguaman, or to put the 5 million or more multi-betty by the Evan one, that or Ayadi and talk to Uncle
into a money rating being percent over 100, remember saying?
Minya politics, but about 85%. Yeah, 85%.
So he's giving Mahama an 85% rating because he says the economy, he's seeing some improvements in the economy. Now, Wafa, apart from economy, no, what's a why or promising certain things? He promised, there's the reduction of the ministries and the ministers, the whole 120-day social contract. I know of the first year free policy and free no school fees policy for senior tertiary students. What are some of the things that are stuck with you aside economy? Then biom na uti ubetimi aka say we hu administration we mo.
Oh, so far no say o share yembo no. Out of 120 ministers ne o share yebo say obe kati ampa watimi akati ye hu say o the 60. E na ebu na mamwe. Enti ho ne che say waye o se ade yo no ne o kan ye no wadi so pepepe. Do nipa de untimi nye 100%. Aka enema kakra 1 or 2
to say them
almost share home boy we say ye hwenanim
send o mashebo akra Kumasi express highway no ye besre no obu ni need kwan so ye hwe nanim so obeya man e na dada na nso no a ne na mo odan kurukuru ni mo nso no o ye we ni ma onyanto ho because o man no accident e kun ye dodo ye besre pi eno nso no mo mfo mani nko ho na o mo hwe enye man na bio ene no ye pon adwuma ye hu kwan ho passengers e bre ka bia ni kwan ho a ni nyina gina duty sem ne so ho de ye besre pi omo duty ni mu ema individuals no import cars e de be commercial no omuntimi nkra cars ni bi megum because so far sisia no aban no enni commercial cars bi ode boa o man ma no tie besre individuals ya nti omo duty ni mu man ema individuals ntimi nkra cars ne mra na omontiti duty ni so sane ebeboa o man motifo no ene oginam kwan ho a nipa gu kwan ho saa omunya kwa kra na omodi akofie
car kwan no any duty sem no okay
me so oh, to me in the born homadin. So me bracken. Your friend say a quine be or what? Maybe I yet in the quaning ye. Dansuma, ya quine ye. And I say, Casua, or Casua, traffic. What I said, traffic, and we are ding. I'm off in your car. Oh, Basso in your car. Oh, Basso, when your car suits him to traffic, and he said, then obey. Your best run on your being found. On your being found, pious run pa.
Now, then Mahama on you going forward. We'll run a second year in office. Nyama ben on focus on first.
Oh, me of a probably me ton shot about so can they make your president and say, "Adia bakope."
And those are some reactions coming from some Ghanaians on President John Mahama's 1 year in office. Right about now, we do business with Michelle.
Right, thank you very much, Mamisi. Now let's get into our business stories. Now, officials from the Ghana Revenue Authority have visited some shops and supermarkets in Accra to assess the implementation of the new VAT system, which commenced on January 1, 2026. Now, during the visits, the managements of Melcom, Palace Mall and other supermarkets confirmed that the implementation of the new VAT has resulted in price reductions. Here is a report.
Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Anthony Kwesi Sapong, together with a team of senior GRA officials, has begun a monitoring exercise to assess the implementation of the reduced VAT rate and the cancellation of the COVID-19 levy. The team interacted with shop owners, many of whom confirmed that the new VAT rate has taken effect. The exercise started at Palace Mall, where the account manager confirmed that businesses are already charging the revised VAT rate. At the Melcom Mall, management welcomed the GRA team and explained that the implementation process is progressing smoothly.
The price is still the same, and you have taken out the COVID levy, and then the levies are also now calculated on the base with the same as VAT. That automatically should lead to a lower price.
Yeah, the levy part will come down, sir.
So that
will come.
Has been done.
Yes, sir. So 1.9% has come down.
Yeah, okay. So that is what we are looking at. We are looking at the VAT. What percentage has come down?
It is 1.9.
1.9% has come down. Yeah, that's what we are talking about. Okay.
Sure.
We just look at the tax component to be sure that at least it has listened. Yes. And you are confirming that it has reduced by 1.9 because of the listen. That's very important.
The Commissioner for Domestic Taxes, Dr. Martin Yamborija, also engaged customers during the visit, examining their receipts to ensure the correct VAT rates were being applied.
No, I've not seen any COVID.
You have not seen COVID?
Yes.
So what are the taxes? I mean, what are the taxes that you can see?
VAT is 15%.
Okay.
And then Gene Found is 2.5%. And then NHIL, which is also 2.5%. Yeah.
And they are all calculated on the same base value. Okay. So what it means is that you have gotten a reduction in terms of the amount that you have listened. So are there savings for you? So as a result of the removal of the COVID levy and then the integration of the levies into the VAT, prices have automatically reduced by 1.9%, and that is your benefit.
Addressing the public, Commissioner General Anthony Kwesi Sapong urged consumers to always demand VAT receipts whenever they make purchases, stressing that this will help them fully benefit from the reduced VAT rate.
We continue to appeal to businesses and individuals who are business owners that we would like you to go on voluntary compliance. Comply with VAT, charge VAT, implement VAT on your systems, or issue VAT invoice as the case may be. And for all consumers, as you are enjoying the new reforms, also demand your VAT invoice anytime you purchase. When we work responsibly as businesses and we also act responsibly as consumers, together we will raise the needed revenue that is needed to develop the nation.
Some shop owners and customers expressed excitement about the new tax measures and commended the GRA and government for implementing the VAT reduction and removing the COVID-19 levy.
Meanwhile, some shoppers expressed excitement about the reduction in VAT, which began on January 1, 2026. Now, they spoke with Joy Business during the tour by the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority in parts of Accra.
Now, everyone that is buying is saving that 1.9%. And when you know, some of our customers are big construction companies, and they are contractors, they're being, whether it's government or private. When you talk about 2% on every million CDs is 20,000. And that can translate to hundreds of thousands of CDs a year in savings, which basically goes to the pocket of the consumer and helps them to use it in other places, you know. So from our part, we think it's an excellent approach.
Water switch and then a solar light, so an outdoor solar light, yes. And we noticed that we no longer see COVID-19 levy charged here. And then we also see that the VAT has also reduced. I think it used to be 21%. Now we see 21.9, yes. Now we see 15%. And that's a significant improvement, a reduction, and we are happy. At least we save some money for our pockets, so we are most grateful to the government. Thank you. I am. Yes, at least that money I can save it on fuel or use it for something else, and it goes a long way. And it's our responsibility to ensure that corporate institutions pay their VAT. So when you go and make purchases, request for VAT invoices. I mean, so that we can all be responsible, not spectators. So it's very important that we all do.
In other developments, now remittance inflows from the United Kingdom to Ghana have declined to 17.5% of total receipts, down from about 28% during the same period in 2024, triggering renewed efforts by the Bank of Ghana to channel diaspora funds into long-term productive investments. Now, Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Esiama, disclosed this at the London Accra Economic Growth Summit, noting that while the UK remains one of Ghana's most critical remittance corridors, the decline highlights the need for more structured and incentive-driven engagement with the diaspora.
According to the Bank of Ghana, remittances from the UK between January and September last year fell significantly compared with the previous year, despite their continued importance to Ghana's foreign exchange inflows and macroeconomic stability. Dr. Johnson Esiama explained that diaspora remittances have traditionally supported household consumption and strengthened the balance of payment. However, he stressed that the central bank's policy focus is shifting beyond consumption toward investment that can drive sustainable economic growth.
Colleagues, remittances constitute a structurally important and counter-cyclical source of foreign exchange for Ghana, with the Ghanaian diaspora in the United Kingdom representing a major remittance corridor. In the period between January and September last year, remittance inflows from the UK accounted for about 17.5% of total remittance receipts into the country. This proportion, however, marks a decline when you compare it to the same period in 2024, when the UK corridor contributed about 28%, which was equivalent to more than a quarter of all total inflows.
That'll be all for business right here on Joy News Desk. I am Michelle Lejakum. That's more when you log on to myjoyonline.com. And clearly we have a story on inflation for December 2025 falls to 5.4%, lowest since 2021 rebate. So log on right there and enjoy all the stories. Mamisi.
Thank you, Michelle. And I guess that's good news for the Mahama administration's 1 year in office. But that's all we have for you on JoyNews Desk. We'll be back tomorrow with more.